This tutorial is brought to you by Hey, what's up guys? My name is Josh Inobakure and welcome to Olufemi Tutorials.
Hey, how's it going guys? My name is Josh Inobakure. I'm a director, editor in the music video industry, and I'm also an adjunct professor at Santa Barbara City College. I teach video editing, and this is the first in a series of tutorials that will teach you how to effectively use Premiere to edit your footage. So let's get started. Alright guys, so it's time to go into Premiere. We're going to find Premiere here, allow it to load up. This is Adobe Premiere in the Creative Cloud. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. We have the name here. We're going to name it Music Video, something simple. You can name it anything you want. And then we're going to pick the location that we want to save the project. We're going to do Browse, and I want to save this on my desktop. There we go. Select that folder. Okay, so we're going to go to the General tab, and the first thing we see here is in Renderer, Mercury Playback Engine. It gives you some examples. I want you to go Google Mercury Playback Engine. We're not going to cover it right now. But the cool thing is, if you have this option that says Mercury Playback Engine GPU acceleration, use it. It's going to make Premiere Pro run so much faster because it's going to be using the GPU as opposed to only the CPU. This is going to depend on the kind of graphic card that you have. If you don't have a good enough graphic card to enable this option, you're only going to have the software only option, which is kind of sad. Premiere Pro will not run as fast, but you'll probably be fine. If you have this option though, the GPU acceleration option, always click on that. Okay, we're going to do OK. There we go. Now here is the main interface of Premiere. It looks confusing, I know, but once we break it down, you're going to realize just how easy it is. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this project window. This project window is where all of the media that you're going to use in your project, it's going to be where it's all stored. So let's right click on this window, do import, and let's find the media that we want to use. I think the media I chose to use for this tutorial is on my desktop. This is some footage that we shot for a Sean Kingston music video. Okay, so I'm going to just click on some of this footage for you to see. Alright. There we go. Now look what I'm doing. I'm clicking on the footage, right? And then this new window up here is called the source monitor. The source monitor is where all of the footage that you have stored here in the project window is being is being viewed. So you can click on any clip here in the project window and you can view it here in the source monitor. It's pretty easy, right? We've already covered half of the interface. Alright, you guys get the idea. Okay, cool. So the next thing I think I want to cover now is this window right here. This is the timeline window. Okay guys, so the timeline window is interesting because it's where all the editing actually takes place. The timeline window is broken up into different tabs. These are going to be called sequence tabs, and I'm going to explain that in a bit. It's the sequence tab where you actually do the editing. So I'm going to actually create a sequence here in the project window. This is where the icon of the actual sequence is going to be. Watch this. Excuse me. Watch this closely. I'm gonna do that again. I right click in the project window. I'm going to do new item, and then I'm going to click sequence. Okay. So before you actually create your sequence to edit in your sequence, you have to make sure that the sequence settings are identical to your clip settings. Again, you got to make sure that your sequence settings, the thing that you're actually editing in, you need to make sure that those settings are the same as your clip settings, because when you put your clips in your sequence, they need to match settings for everything to work properly. Okay, so the cool thing about Premiere is they have all these different presets. Now, you should know what your clip settings are, as do I. So check this out. I shot, on a digital DSLR. I know I shot 1080 which is 1920 by 1080. And here's this preset, 1920 by 1080, 24 frames per second. That's what I shot it in. So this settings for the sequence I know will match my settings for my clips. When I say settings, all I'm talking about is the resolution and the frame rate. So 1920 by 1080, 24 frames per second. I'm good with these settings for the sequence because I know they match my clip settings. I'm gonna name this sequence. I don't even care. I'm just gonna leave it the default name. They want to call it sequence 2. Let's do OK. Cool. Okay, guys. So this sequence has been made. It's stored here with all the rest of my media in my project window. Now check this out. Look at my timeline window now. This sequence has opened up in my timeline window, and you see that it's a tab. I said that you edit in the sequence tabs, and here is a sequence that is now open for me to edit in. Okay, so how do I do all this? Let's check this out. In order to edit footage in your sequence, well, you got to put footage in the sequence so that you can edit it. So check this out. I'm going to put this footage in my sequence. Alrighty now. And check this out. What do you see? You see a bunch of clips. These blue things are clips. Okay? And what I'm going to do is in this sequence, there is something called a playhead. This blue thing is a playhead. As I scroll through, I'm going to press play right here. Look what just happened. What you guys see what just happened? This window just appeared. Check this out. So anything that my playhead is rolling on top of is going to be visually represented in this window. This is called the project window. Excuse me, the program window. This is called the program window. Let's review. This is called the project bin. This is called the source monitor. This is called the timeline window. Within the timeline window, there are different sequence tabs. Within each of these sequences is where the editing takes place. And this window right here is called the program window. This program window is going to be a visual representation of what you're actually editing in this sequence. So I'm going to press play, and you can see that you are viewing this clip right here. Let's zoom in and see what this clip is named. This clip is called FP114 clip 2. So check this out. This that I'm looking at within the sequence, I'm looking at different tracks. So I have V1, V2, V3. These are video tracks. This video clip is on V1. Down here I have A1, A2, A3. These are all audio tracks. As you can see, this audio is attached to this video, and I'm listening to them and looking at them all at the same time. Now check this out. I'm going to bring this clip right here. This is clip, it says FP114 clip 3. Now I'm going to drag this clip on top of this clip. Now check this out. Which clip am I looking at? Am I looking at clip 2 or am I looking at clip 3? I'm looking at clip 3 because the thing about the playhead is it's only able to see the clip that's on top. See, if I now remove clip 3 to the side, I'm looking back at clip 2. Interesting piece of info though. You actually hear both sets of audio at the same time, because the same rule does not apply for audio. You hear all sets of audio at the same time, unless you mute a track, which I'm going to go into next. Cool. All right, guys. So let's look at these tracks a little bit more. Say I have two clips on top of each other. Let's put this clip back on top of each other, on top of this clip. Now check out this thing right here. These eyes right here. When these eyes are open, it means that you can see that it means that these tracks are available to be seen. If I were to blind this eye right here, it's gonna make this track unseeable. it's gonna basically kind of make this track disappear for a bit, or make it transparent. So the track I'm actually looking at now is going to be this track underneath, V1. So I'll be looking at clip 2. Check this out. Now if I undo this and make this track visible again, I'll be looking back at clip 3. Check this out. Let's go to audio now. I can actually mute any track I want by clicking on this M. If I mute this track, it means I'm only going to be looking at this track. I'm sorry, it means I'm only going to be hearing the bottom track. If I mute both tracks, it means I won't hear anything. Cool. Another way you can specify which audio tracks you want to hear is clicking S. S means solo. So if you were to click S, it means that you will only hear that single track that the S is on. You can do the same thing here. Now I'm only listening to the bottom track. Perfect. Okay, guys. So check out how easy that is. You guys now have a good overview as far as the basic interface setup. We still have a little bit more to learn though. I want to do something. I want to delete these. And I want to show you guys a little trick that I know about. So again, you remember that you can actually review these clips that you have stored in your project window up here in the source monitor, right? Okay, but check this out. Instead of bringing an entire clip onto the timeline to start editing it, you don't have to do that. You can also, you have the option of bringing in a portion of the clip as well. So check this out. So I am going to only want to use, let's say I only want to use Sean singing from here to here. I have the ability of setting in and out points to select the portion of the track that I actually want to use and put on my timeline. So check this out. So in point, mark in. You can also do this by pressing I on your keyboard, and then you can drag it here, this little playhead here, and then you can do mark out. You can also click the or press down the O on your keyboard to do that same thing, and then you can drag. You can look what I'm doing. I'm clicking on the actual source monitor footage that you're seeing, and I'm actually dragging it down here directly into my timeline. And check this out. It only dragged down this portion that I wanted. Check this out. Now guys, you can drag this as many times as you want. It's just gonna drag the exact same thing down. Cool, you guys get the idea? Awesome. So let me delete. I'm gonna delete everything actually. Okay, so now say I only want to drag this portion. I only want to use this portion of the track, but I only want to drag the video. This is what I do. Check this out. So I'm going to drag. This says drag video only. Drag only video right here. Just by dragging this film strip down. If I want to drag only audio, I just drag this little audio wave symbol, and I'm dragging only audio. Cool. I can only drag it on these audio tracks, right? Because it's audio. Okay, so just to recap, if I want to drag both audio and video together, then I literally drag from the footage itself. If I want to drag only the video, I drag it from this video only button. If I only want to drag audio, I drag it from this audio only button. Cool. It's a cool little trick. Now let's continue. I want to. I'm gonna put my out point right here because I want to drag this entire section from here to here over down into my timeline. Check this out. All right, now, so check this out. So I have this footage in my timeline, but I want to put some effects on it. How do I do that? Well, I'm gonna click on this footage, and I'm gonna go to this tab called Effect Controls. Check this out, guys. Effect Controls gives you options for video effects, and audio effects. Now, before you even think about putting additional effects on the footage, you'll see that there are some default effects that are already there. Let's click this right here into motion. Motion is an effect that allows you to basically affect the motion of the clip in the x-axis and the y-axis. You can drag it down, up, side to side. Let's reset it by clicking on this thing right here. Okay, and then you can affect the scale as well, making it bigger, smaller. You guys get the point. Let's reset it. Okay, so or I can do rotation. Check this out. Pretty cool. Awesome. Let's reset it. Okay. You can also look at the opacity. Opacity is in reference to referring to the transparency. Cool. We can control the transparency just like that. Awesome. Okay, so we have a few audio. The only audio effect that we're actually going to worry about is volume level, and this just affects the volume of your audio. Cool. Awesome. Anything over 0 is going to be louder than your original audio level, and anything below 0 is going to be quieter than your original audio level. These stopwatches that you see, those are keyframes. We're not going to go into keyframes in this video. Make sure you always just have those turned off. Hey guys, quick tip. If these windows end up looking weird, like say, because all these windows are adjustable, make sure that you I'm just giving you guys examples of how you can adjust the windows. If this starts looking weird, always go up to Window, go to Workspace, go to Editing. Go to Editing. It's on Editing. You can do Reset Current Workspace. You're gonna say yes, I want to reset it, and that's just gonna reset it to how it was originally. It doesn't affect anything as far as your footage or as far as your edit. It just literally affects the interface and how it looks visually. We understand that you can have that you can adjust the effects in effects controls. You can adjust either video effects or audio effects. We understand that there are some default effects that are always going to be present when you click on a clip. But how do you add any additional effects? Well, you're going to go to the Effects tab right here. You can apply video effects. We're only going to look at video effects. We're not going to look at any audio effects right now. You can apply any type of video effect that you want. There's tons of them. There's some for color correction. You can distort. You can add noise and grain. You can blur. Here's a blur effect. Add it to video effects. It's called Gaussian blur. What do you think it happens? Well, it just makes that footage blurry, obviously. Cool. I'm gonna bring that back down. You can delete effects. I'm gonna press delete on my keyboard. Just deleted that. Cool. All right, guys. So let's go back into the timeline. So say I want to cut a clip. Well, usually I have my selection tool. I'm using my selection tool, but I can actually go to my razor tool, and that allows me to cut my clip from any point in the clip. I'm going to go back to my selection tool, and I can move this around. You can see that I've cut this clip into numerous clips now. I'm going to press play. Cool. You can see that I have different clips where there used to be one clip. Okay, you guys get the point. Okay, so say I have this clip right here. I'm on my selection tool, as you can see, the arrow. Here's the cool thing. What do you just see? If I hover over the end of the clip, I can actually cut the clip from the end by either extending it or shrinking it. And all I'm doing is I'm just cutting or extending the clip back to its original size without having to even use the razor. That makes sense? Cool. Okay, so I'm still in my timeline window. I have a clip here, and I have its associated audio down here. Now, say I would like to unlink this audio from this video. What I would do is I would right click and I would go to unlink, and now I can move this video and I can move this audio separately. They're no longer linked to each other. Just a cool little trick. If you guys didn't notice already, these audio tracks, these video tracks are V1, V2, V3. They can go all the way up to 99. You can add as many video tracks as you want. You can just go to add. Oops, what did I just do? I want to say add track, not delete track. I can add as many tracks as I want. Click OK, and I just add another video track. I can do the same with audio. I can add as many tracks, I believe, up to 99 audio tracks and 99 video tracks. And this is that's the separation. Tracks up here video, tracks down here are audio. Hey guys, this is an important lesson right here. I'm going to delete these tracks. I only want to focus on this track. I'm going to extend it out to its original length. Now, then I'm going to drag. I'm going to go back to my project window. I'm going to drag another track. I want to drag it. I want to just drag basically two tracks right next to each other. You'll understand in a sec. So, check this out. This magnetic tool, it's called a snapping tool, is very important. You always want this magnetic tool to be on. That allows these tracks to snap right. Whenever they get close, it snaps the tracks together. If you don't have this tool on, the tracks will literally just glide right into each other. And when you're trying to put a track right up against another track, you won't ever know if there's a tiny gap. Sometimes the gap is so small that you don't know it's even there, and you may have to zoom in. You can zoom in with this tool right here. You're never gonna know if there's a gap, so it's a lot easier to just have the snapping tool, and it snaps right up against each other. Cool. Another way to zoom in is actually using the plus or minus keys on your keyboard. All right, guys. So that is a pretty extensive overview of the interface of Premiere Pro. Thanks for watching.